Hey y'all, it's Michael, and this is my TBR for the Booktube-A-Thon 2016. All of these books are from the Lemonade Syllabus. I also have to let you know that I'm not gonna let you know a lot of the synopsis about these books because I don't know a lot about the synopsis on these books. I'm going into them blind, they're on the list, so I'm going in with an open mind. So the first challenge is read a book with yellow on the cover, and for this I chose Sugar by Bernice L. McFadden, with this yellow field right here. Funny story about this book. The other day I went to Atlanta and I went to two bookstores. The first one, it's actually, according to Yelp, it's black owned, and they specialize in African American literature, and oh my gosh, their selection is really good and they're so nice. It's called Medu Bookstore. It's located in a Greenbrier Mall, I believe. My sister also said that her fiance likes going there, and I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I really like that. I really love their selection. They had a whole bunch of books that I would never find in my local bookstore, which is great. The second challenge is read a book only after sunset. And back with Medu Bookstore, this is like a quick story with that bookstore. The book that I'm gonna pick for this is The Black Woman in Anthology by Toni Cade Bambara. With this, I wanted to read it in physical form, so I asked her if they had a copy of this, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is such a great book, but unfortunately it's out of print. And I was like, I mean, I have the digital version, but I wanted the physical version. In the end, it does work out because the sun, okay, so here in the south, in Georgia, the sun sets literally like at 9-10 o'clock, and that's my bedtime. So I love to read books digitally while like laying down and going this way because it's just so comfortable, and then I go to sleep. And I think this would be a great book to read during that time because these are really short. They're like essays and short stories. It's not in the fiction section of the Lemonade Syllabus, but it's on there. So next one is read a book you discovered through Booktube. For this, I'm going to choose an author that I discovered through Booktube, and then one of the books that she wrote, and that is Some Love, Some Pain, Some Time by J. California Cooper. I recently read her Homemade Love, which is also a short story collection just like this one, and that was so funny. Like, that book was so funny. Like, I really enjoyed the humor in there. So I don't know if this is going to be funny or if it's going to be more serious, but either way, whichever spectrum it falls on, I just know I'm going to enjoy it because I really enjoy the spirit that she writes within her novels, if it's anything like Homemade Love. So the next one is read a book by one of your favorite authors, and this one is going to be, I think, the challenge during this Booktube-A-Thon, and that is Beloved by Toni Morrison. Moment of silence. I don't have to say anything about her as an author or her works, so there's that. The next one is read a book that is older than you. For this, I choose The Color Purple by Alice Walker. The good thing about this is it's not that long, and the font is pretty big, and it's written in letter form. I forgot the technical term for it. Next one is read and watch a book to movie adaptation. Now, there is a movie for this book that I'm gonna choose, but I don't know if I'll be able to hunt it down and get it here in times. So we'll see, but I'm going to try to read it, and it's a play, which is going to be really short, and that's A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. Short story about this book. It's actually not mine. It is my friend. She actually does makeup videos on YouTube, and she actually took a class that required this book, and she was like, oh, I know you love to read books, do you want this? And I was like, sure. And I just never gave it back to her, and I commented one time that I still have your book in case you ever want it back. She's like, oh no, you can keep it. I said, free book, you don't have to tell me twice. The last challenge is read 7 books. Now for this, I'm just going to pick the books that I'm currently reading now and just count it as that, because I feel like those books that I choose already are they're not necessarily long, but they're emotionally taxing. That's the thing about the Lemonade Syllabus. They're hitting a lot of deep subjects, and I'm going to talk to you about one of these books, but one of them is going to be Notes of a Native Son by James Baldwin. If you watch my vlog about during the Cramathon, James Baldwin writing about one of the best books I've read this year, which is Native Son. I'm reading this really slow. I'm just like reading one essay a day. Like, it's going through very slowly, and sometimes I'm not even reading one during that day, so there's that. I need to renew it though for my library, so there's that. Involving that emotional taxing book, I was reading this at the coffee shop, this book, and I find out that I can't read it during the coffee shop because hashtag the feels, and that is The Good Negress by A.J. Verdell. I'll talk more about it once I completely finish it, but I'm roughly 25% through it right now. There is this scene in here about her grandma. I was like, I can't. I was at the coffee shop today, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't read this in the coffee shop because, good Lord, Lord knows that what if she talks about something that really hits me. You know what, I don't want to talk about it because it's going to be long and yeah, too much, but I'll talk about it once I actually talk about these books. I'm going to be vlogging each and every single day, so it's going to be it's going to be a lot of editing. But I think the Booktube-A-Thon is so much fun. Last year I did it and it was really fun. So yes, if you're doing the Booktube-A-Thon, let me know. I would love to talk with you to Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, let me know. So yes, until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye! And in addition to visiting Medu bookstore, I also visited one called Acapella Books. This bookstore was so cool. The literary fiction selection that they have is fantastic. I was like, oh my god, a lot of these books are so good. I decided to buy one book from there, and it is The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. I've never read this before, I never even heard of it, but a lot of my Goodreads friends gave it 5 stars and I was like, ooh, so I'm really intrigued by it. And it is a beautiful edition. Oh my gosh, yeah, oh, the edition is so nice. I was actually thinking of doing a bookstore crawl in Atlanta because the literary scene there it's really good actually. I'm thinking about doing one whenever I have the time and the money because I love going to these independent bookstores and just like buying at least one book from them. So I would love to do a like bookstore crawl vlog and then a haul for it. So that would be actually really fun.